you doing, everyone? Let's kick it off with the most interesting team out of the three here, the People Squad. We'd start the week with 3 trades, decided to just use the one and leave 246 in the bank. Let me know when we're going through this team if you think there's anyone we should probably look to upgrade using that extra cash rather than saving it for a rainy day being an injury or a suspension. So the one trade that we've made this week is obviously Cleary being out, and we have brought Payne Haas in. So he moves straight into that mid position, and we definitely have enough cover for the mids and the edges now. Still have that slight issue, well, let's call it a big issue, of no real hooker cover with only Boothie there, who hasn't been scoring too well as that cover. So potentially using those 2 trades or one of them to be able to pick up a decent hooking player over the next couple of weeks could be a great idea. But we move down the line and we're pretty well set up now. In terms of our halves, we can move a few things around with Hines and obviously Burton up into that halves position, considering we didn't bring a straight out half in. But we do have to think about that. Obviously we have Garrick in our interchange, which we could move down into the wing fullback position. And now our centres are a little bit short on stocks, unfortunately. So still don't have the cover on that, which is a bit of a worry. And I think definitely probably holding the 2 trades, unless we're bringing in someone to improve our cover in the hooking position or the centres. I think that's probably the only good idea if we were to make another trade this week. And obviously there's a few guys that we could bring in as options. But I think for this week, we can just hope that Boothie gets big minutes and a much better score than the 14. I don't think he can play much worse than that. So at a minimum, we're hoping for a 30 plus from him in this week. But bringing in Payne Haas, I think we're locking in close to a 60 average from him for the next bunch of weeks. Hopefully all 5 he does play, considering they'll be looking to try and stick in that top 4. And with Carrigan out, I think he's the right man to play those big minutes and do really well. So captaincy this week has gone to Damien Cook. The second option was going to be, I believe, Cam Murray as a potential secondary option. But Cook wins that one out. And I think that's a great one up against Warriors there heading into round 21. So that is the People Squad. Leaves us with 2 trades, the 246 in the bank and 624 overall. So hopefully an improving week. If we can get a decent score out of Booth, I think we'll be fine heading into a good score this week. But we move to my team. I've actually decided to go with 2 trades. The original thought was just moving on from Cleary and going straight swap to DCE, which was going to leave us with about this 10k in the bank. And I looked at it a little bit further and just thought, considering I had 5 trades in the bank, just leaving myself with 4 for the 4 weeks is going to be pretty nice. But I do have a decent amount of cover at the moment. We're seeing Polly is going to get a decent opportunity to play some good minutes here for the Tigers in the 13 role. I also have Xavier Savage in the 6th emergency. So I've got a few guys there that if we do have any issues across the next few weeks with injuries, I feel like I can cover it fairly well. I do have Reed obviously as secondary hooker, which is lovely there. And yeah, just the general thoughts was that I could probably use 1 extra trade and make an improvement in the squad. So I was just thought by going down to Munster, I'd give myself around, it was 65k there in spare cash. I had another 14, I believe, pre-round. And that actually allowed me to go from Angus Crichton to Payne Haas, which I thought was a bit of an upgrade. Crichton's only averaging 48 this year. He unfortunately had that really good 3 or 4 game stretch where we thought he was back. And then since picking him up, he's been pretty poor, unless he scores a try, to be honest. So there's a great chance that he does score big this week, Crichton, and goes similar to what Haas does. But I think Haas is going to be the consistent player over the next 5 weeks and will probably outscore Angus by maybe 80 to 100. I just felt that still leaving myself with 3 trades and making that upgrade this week was going to be the best type of play there. In terms of cover, I obviously still have that there with Pole in the mids and Haas. And then you look at my edges and mids, and I have 3 dual position guys which can cover any of those positions there. In terms of halves, I felt like I had to bring in a half, otherwise it would have been just Hughes and Dewey there. Obviously Burton and Teddy, but that would remove a lot of my centre and wing fullback cover as well. So overall, I felt like that was the biggest upgrade I could make this week, considering I only had the extra 75. I couldn't really upgrade Savage to anyone really good, especially when he can score that 35 to 40 anyway, and very similar with Kohler there. And what I'm going to do is try and loop Mr. Pollard this week, which is going to be very difficult with actually hosting which plays in that first game. So we might have to let that one go, unfortunately, and just work it out from there. But yeah, these are the 2 trades in my team this week. Let me know your thoughts on those ones and if you think that they're any good, if you think they're crap. and let me know as well. I'd appreciate that. But we move on to the head-to-head squad and actually decided to make no trades this week. Very boring, I know. Had a really good round 21 with no Cleary, so that's kind of helped us out. Sitting 132nd overall. I think this is a great week to hold trades and, pretty much not holding any liabilities. You could say Kohler maybe not the best potential option in the centres, but he's going to sit in that position. And this week we can actually loop Dean Mariner there. I think that's the best one considering he plays tonight. If he gets a good score, we can just throw in Curdy Falls into that interchange position and go from there. I think that's going to be the best option for us and gives us a chance because he's probably going to be a mid-20s guy like the 26 he got last round. Or if they do really well, he could score upwards of 50. So, he could be a really solid one to pop in that position and then try and use him as a loop, which will be great. So that's the general thoughts on that one. And the head-to-head squad, I think we're in a good position. We've got Crichton there we'd like an improvement from, and also Fafita. And then we got Munster and DCE. I'm going to captain DCE just to be different to the other teams we had. Cook is captain people's squad. I'm going for Hines personally. I just think he's very, very safe to get somewhere in that mid-60s. You could go for Dewey, you could go for Cook. I think all of them are going to be pretty safe. Like you look at Hines' average, he's at 68.8. And you look at Cookie there, who's at 66.8. So really, Hines is very much the man as much as Cook is, and I think you can continue to trust him, especially up against the Dragons, who aren't playing anywhere amazing at the moment. I think he can do a really good job. He can do a really good job captaining in that one. So I'm going to captain him. So it's got Munster as captain right now. I'll change that. Hopefully it'll work with the 3 teams open. And then we're going for DCE as captain in the head-to-head squad. So that's the 3 teams, guys. I hope you got a lot out of that trades video and it helps you with yours heading into tonight's game. I hope you all enjoy that one. It's going to be a fun one with the Broncos playing and hoping to bounce back from their loss last week. Catch you in the next one, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe and have some fun. See you later.